Okay, we are live on our YouTube. We will be starting in a couple of minutes. Good morning to everybody, and
Morning,
welcome
sir.
to this webinar 2.0 internship marathon.
Morning, sir.
Okay, I request everybody to mute their mic except the speaker. Okay, we are live on our YouTube. Just a minute. Good morning to everybody. Okay, so we are live.
Morning.
Okay, I am disabling the waiting room. We are having every keynote speaker of the session, webinar 2.0. I welcome you everybody to this morning. Webinar 2.0 internship marathon is organized by Law Central as well as JLSR Journal. Law Central is an initiative to provide a platform to law students where they can actively participate in various legal activities as well as competitions. We intend to bring out the best amongst the students by promoting in them the sense of competitiveness. Our vision is to inculcate the feeling of professionalism and responsibility in budding lawyers. JLSR journals. Journal for Law Students and Researcher is a peer-reviewed, published online journal, an interactive platform for short articles, long articles, book reviews, case comments, research papers, essays in the field of law. JSLR journals aim is to upgrade the level of interaction and discourse about the contemporary issues of law. So basically, we are having four speakers of the evening. Before we move on to the introduction of the speakers, I would like to tell you some rules and regulations which is pertaining to the attendees. Please mute your microphone during the session. We don't want any nuisance to be created when the keynote speaker is presenting his presentation. We are having four speakers of this session, webinar 2.0. I think everything is clear. So I will be introducing to you the first speaker of this webinar 2.0. The first speaker is Advocate Vivek Narayan Sharma. I think everybody knows his name. Advocate Vivek Narayan Sharma is a politico constitution expert and renowned advocate practicing at Supreme Court of India. He is an ex-joint secretary of Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association. He is a president of Society for Criminal Justice and national advisor, consultant, and convener of the eminent social political outfits as well as the journals in India. He is an advisor to Indo-Canadian Chambre de Commerce Indian chapter. He is also the most popular as well as the most discussed columnist of Times of India as well as Economic Times. He enrolled in the Bar of Council of India in year 1919, and he has handled the litigations pertaining to the politics, corporate, constitution, energy, consumer, real estate apart, civil, criminal, etc. He has appeared and argued before the numerous High Court as well as the Supreme Court of India, including High Court of Punjab and Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, UP and Karnataka, etc. It is a great honor to have you, sir. And on the behalf of my team, I would like to welcome you to this webinar 2.0. And with due respect, I would like you to take over from here. And if it is comfortable with you, sir, you can start with your session. I request Advocate Vivek Narayan Sharma to please unmute the mic.
Okay. A very good morning to you all, Mr. Rohit Chatrat, Law Central, all the team of Law Central, Mayank, whom I know for a very long time now. So it's a great honor to be part of Law Central here today and to interact with, I assume Arushi Garg is also there. I'm sorry I missed your name. So I assume the significance of talking to the students, law students and the youth of the nation, and why this very thing is always pleasurable to me and very important to me as well, because youth has the idealism, and any country to succeed in future need that idealism intact. So as we grow old, the compassion and idealism goes for a bounce in so many aspects, in so many respects, and people just believe in making money, making developing power, and earning maybe the movable and immovable properties. But the youth which has the idealism, that idealism is something which works as a carrier for a nation to convert into a developing nation to the developed nation. And that's where you need to have faith and belief in yourself. So today we are talking about the internship, the basic aspect why the internships are there. You know, we must have heard about Eklavya in the older period of time. So Eklavya had learned the art, though by just seeing from a distance. And Arjuna had learned the art under the guidance of Dronacharya. So, you know, what happens even in our scriptures, what is written, the knowledge that we have, every person has the same kind of brain. We are made of same material, means it is my own philosophy. We are made of same material. The constitution of each body, each mind is almost the same. The variation would be with regard to the constituent parts of that particular area, like the brain. With some people may have a larger number, means a higher number of cells of white cells, and smaller, lower number of gray cells. So that number may vary, and the others may have higher number of gray cells and a lower number of white cells. So that may vary, but at the same time, the constitution always is the same. So the knowledge which I may develop within myself, any person, every person, each of you can develop within yourself as well. So knowing self in the scriptures has been always termed as the best and most important exercise. So I was talking about the internship. Why do we need to do, really means why do the interns really need to learn? So that validation of the knowledge which comes through the senior whom they join, they are intern. They means it is a, agar suppose we understand it, that guru and shishya parampara. So this is part of that. You have a person has not yet become a lawyer, and they are just learning while they are studying. So that thing is there when you have this knowledge, you have gained knowledge by discussing inter se, by discussing with each other, by having this from your the college and institutions, and then that knowledge is getting validated in the practical arena. While you go to courts, the knowledge you gain in the institutions, in the law colleges, is the theoretical knowledge, and when you go to the courts, then that knowledge gets validated, and that validation point is which under whom you are having the internship, that really matters. A good lawyer, if you have chosen a good lawyer, then your validation will make you a smart lawyer in future. If you have chosen someone who just shows that he has knowledge but he has no knowledge, then in that case it may hurt your future prospectus. You may learn wrong things. So we all need to develop at that stage, at the nascent stage, we need to start developing that nucleus of knowledge. So that while we develop that nucleus of knowledge, it is also very relevant and important that it should be in the right direction and right things should be learned. Two very important things I am going to talk about. One is that all the interns and all the new lawyers should have this habit of reading at least few judgments each day. And judgments of Supreme Court mostly means you may have judgments of your varied areas, NCDRC or Delhi High Court or NCLAT. That's all right to gain the knowledge. But it is imperative for you all that you all read 3-4 judgments, at least 3-4 judgments every day. So make it a point that will create a nucleus of knowledge for you. Understand, if you read these 3-4 judgments every day, then what is going to happen? In 1 year, you have gone through more than 1,000 judgments. In 3 years' time, you have gone through more than 3,000 judgments. So if those during the college time, during the law college time, 5-year course or 3-year course, then if you have kept this habit of yours, then in that case, within that period of time, by the time you come out of the law college, you have that nucleus of knowledge developed within yourself. So now this knowledge has to be applied in the practical world. The other very important aspect is that while discussing, while talking with each other, there are so many times when some information comes to you And some people believe that information without validating that information. They start passing on that information. So if that is the habit that you have developed, it is time to stop that habit. Always validate any information that you receive from any person, any arena. Validation is very important, and after you validate that information, means till the time you do not validate, it is only a hearsay. It may be correct, it may be half correct, it may be incorrect, it may have been perceived wrongly by you. So there are various aspects to when the information is coming to you. So it's very, very important that any information that comes to your way, you validate that information so that you do not become a sorry figure in front of any person, and more so in front of your own self. It will weaken your confidence. So it's very, very important that you validate the information which comes your way. Don't just believe on hearsay. It's a good way that we talk with each other, we communicate, we participate in group discussions, we discuss things, we go here and there and then have information exchange. But a good lawyer always validates whatever comes his way before speaking. So you want to be a good lawyer, always validate. So these are two very important things. So the third thing which I want to talk about, while you are in that early arena of your legal careers, constantly seek what you desire. Develop a desire. The desire should be based on your vision. It should not be merely a desire. Desire can be, okay, I want a Mercedes car. I want a big bungalow. I want this, I want that. Those are desires. But you need to, again, when you desire, before desiring, always go for validation for those desires also. Before desiring, you develop the skills. The skills will fulfill your desires. So if you do not fulfill that skill set, so develop your skill set, and at the same time vision yourself. Vision yourself what you should be in 3 years time from today, what you should be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. That vision should be clear. Short-term goals, long-term goals means there can't be just one goal in life. There have to be various goals. You are bound to achieve when you work towards a particular aspect of life. The only thing is, the moment the journey is complete and you have achieved that, then what? So then you have to redevelop another goal. So this as a constant process. Don't get confused about anything. Just build up small aims, visions shorter and long term, so that you are able to work towards those goals and those visions. And it is very, very important, when you are talking about the visions and goals, do not confine your goals only for your own benefits. I can very well understand that in today's time, when you are a student or you are in the very beginning of your careers, you cannot really help others. But that idea of helping others is very, very important in a society to really exist in a beautiful manner. When we start thinking positively, the positive thinking only comes when we have this thing in our mind that, okay, if anything comes, then I will help the other person. Helping others is something which gives you the kind of happiness which will never go away. Even if you buy a car, it may get a dent, it can displease you, it can give you some sorrow. It has got an accident, you may feel very bad about it. But when you help others, the help you have done, it will give you the basic feeling of happiness. And that happiness, the person has taken help, has gone. So that happiness is the real treasure of life. And it will never make you go down in your life. It will always keep you boosted. It will always keep you happy. And mind it, I am telling you, whatever you achieve in life, I have seen means a good life from student life to now 21 years of my legal profession. I have seen people working for money. I have seen people compromising for money or power, but they are not happy. Happiness is the state of mind which is developed by doing good work. You do bad work, you will not be happy. So it is very, very important. Helping others is very good work. Where whenever you can do, it is vital and important. You should do. Safeguard yourself always while helping others. Do not become victim during while you are helping others. It may happen so many times. So it is also very important while you are helping. Do not compromise yourself. Like there is a very important instruction given while you travel from the flight. When they say, all right, when the mask comes, first of all, you have to wear your own mask. Don't try to wear anybody else, give masks to anybody else. First, wear your mask. So it is very important while you help others, then you also safeguard, look out the perspective. So why I'm talking about this? A lawyer, what is a lawyer? There are various verticals in our lives. Somebody is a software engineer, somebody is a doctor, somebody is a something, somebody is politician. So there are verticals, different verticals of life. So they are like this, different verticals. And what is a lawyer? A lawyer is someone who is moving through across all the verticals. It's a horizontal plane. He crosses all the verticals. He meets all kinds of clients. He does work for all sort of people. He knows so much so that he's enlightened souls in some aspects. So while that enlightenment should help you, you should also develop some good habits with regard to seeking and uplifting that enlightenment always in the right direction. So there's always going to be so many talks. Means I want to hear Mr. Rohit, Arushi, Mayank. So it would be better means if I can talk for hours and hours. It's my favorite way and my favorite time to interact with people, with young people. Always believe in yourself. Keep your idealism. Boost yourself. If anytime any trouble comes to you, always go for the person. Means there is a way of doing one last advice that I want to give you. If anytime any trouble comes, means you are not able to solve any problem or anything that is not really means coming the way you want it to be. What is the way to solve? I'll just tell you my own way in this. When I was in college, I used to think, all right, means this is a problem. So this is suppose this is a business problem. Then what should I do? So I will solve a business problem by applying the mind of a businessman. If this is a political problem, then I will solve this political problem by applying the mind of a political man. How do you do it? So in all our life, while we live, we all know that there is someone who is a very good businessman in your acquaintance. There is some politician or there is some doctor. So you apply those kind of the acceptance in your mind only. How this person will solve it. So this way, if you start thinking, then that way you would be able to solve many of your problems in just in a quick succession. So with all this, anytime you may connect with me, it would be a pleasure to connect with all the youth of my nation. And if I could be of any use, of any guide, I'm always open for you all. My pleasure. Have a great day. Have a good day to you all.
Thank you, sir. It was a really informative session and interactive session from your side, from coming from someone who is experienced in this field, not only in the law as well as of the life. I think it was an honor to have you, sir, here, and thank you for joining us. Okay,
pleasure is mine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So moving on to our second speaker, it is none other than Mr. Rohit Chaturat. I think everybody have heard his name if you have interned in Punjab Human Rights Commission, because I think it is a basic internship which everybody would have in its CV, because everybody goes for Punjab Human Rights Commission internship. And talking about Mr. Rohit, he is an IT head of Punjab Human Rights Commission. He has working from 2003. It is with great experience, as well as he's having a great experience in public relation as well. Sir, it is an honor to have you as an keynote speaker of this session. And with that, I would like you to please take over from here. And please, sir, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. I hope I am audible to you guys because my pitch is a little low. I didn't had a breakfast this morning, so I hope I'm audible to you guys.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Coming on a serious note, thank you so much. Good work, Law Central, by doing this webinar and joining all of us together through this particular webinar, and making sure all the future interns who would like to intern with Punjab State Human Rights Commission, or as a matter of fact, anywhere else, to have a common platform where they can come and ask their questions and know much about things. And thank you, Vivekji, such a nice advice. Probably it's a great thing we can all apply in our life. Thank you so much. We had a wonderful experience with your words. Let's come to Punjab State Human Rights Commission and your internship. Punjab State Human Rights Commission was set up in 1997, and this was the same year when Punjab Assembly cleared this bill, protection of human rights bill, and we came into existence. And in the year 2007, we started our internship. I won't waste much of your time on anything else because I know everybody is a little busy nowadays. So I'll straight away come to what is internship in Punjab State Human Rights Commission, or as a matter of fact, any other State Human Rights Commission or National Human Rights Commission. So in year 2007, we started this internship, and till date, we've already trained more than 2,000 interns. So I had a privilege of training more than 2,000 interns. And I still remember a cold December morning. I was summoned into then Honorable Chairperson's office, and I was told that I have to conduct the internship. And I said, oh my God, what the hell is this? But honestly, since then, this is one of the best experiences I have. Every summer and every winter, I always look forward to this internship because see, when you people come and join us, it's not just you guys are learning, but it is learning of us also, because you come up with fresh ideas and you have few fresh things, and we love that. Every time we have debates, discussions and everything, I definitely learn something very new. So let's come to the process, like how can you join any State Human Rights Commission? So the process is very simple. You can visit the website of that particular state commission or National Human Rights Commission. For us, it is pshrc.net. And in summer, generally in month of May, we start our application process. Anybody who is in first year, second year, third year, or even LLM students, they are more than welcome to join us. You can put in your applications. The application requirements are very simple. You need to send your 12th mark sheet, your 10th mark sheet, self-attested, along with a 500-word write-up and one form, which is there on our website. So you just need to fill that thing up, and you can send it across through email, and probably from next year onwards on WhatsApp too. We would go through your entire record, and based upon that record, we shortlist the candidates. But we generally try to keep maximum number of interns. For example, not this summer, we didn't conduct the internship because of the COVID situation this summer, but last summer we inducted around 125 interns. So I know space is a little congested then, but we want that maximum intern should be there, and whatever we can accommodate. And your internship is divided into 4 weeks. First 2 weeks, we make you aware about the working of this commission. And contrary to the common belief, we put our intern on a live work. That means you are assigned a job of a legal assistant from the very second day of your joining. And you are made to do the work, and probably if you're coming with the intention that you would not be working and you'll be just sitting and having fun, then PSTAS is not the place to be. But yes, if you want to work, you are more than welcome and join us. And from this very second day, you'll be working with us. Uh, from first week onwards, first week you have, apart from your work, we make sure that you interact with our honorable chairperson and members. So they come and they share their experiences with you. In the second week, you are assigned a casework, the case which has been decided by this commission. So you have to go through that case and then come and present it to us as a team. We divide you in a team. And the last 2 weeks, we assign you a research work. And for research work, the topic, anything relating to human rights of your interest, but it has to be a real research. So you have to go to different uh, areas, different fields. Generally, our intern, they go somewhere in Punjab and they do a research. For example, research could be on child labor, maybe child labor in dhaba industry. Then you visit dhabas, find out whether the child labor is working there and what kind of human right violations has taken place. So based upon this, you submit your research report, and that's it. We based upon your research, once you be satisfied that you've learned enough, and just two motives behind your internship: a, to understand the working of the commission and broadly of the government organization, and b, you know what is human rights and how people are suffering, and how can you as future lawyers can improve the situation. So that is the main objective. Once you've achieved both these things, that's it. You sign your certificates and you are free birds. Then you can come back to us. And I have my initial interns coming back to me, and they've now been working in United Nations and JAG and a lot other places. And once you're part of us, you're always welcome to join back to us and be part of our family. So yes, we'll open up with this for any questions you have. I can see a lot of questions or comments coming on the chat session, so we'll take up the questions. Thank you so much, and I'd like who's to take over from now.
Okay, thank you, sir. Would you like to take the questions right now, or would we like
any ways which is
okay? So we can do that. Like we will be taking the questions after both this.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, thank you, sir. It was a great honor to have you. Like I say in every webinar, that there are three L's in the life. That is, first to live, second is to learn, and the third is to listen. We have lived through your experience, we listened through your experience, and we learned through your experience. Both the speakers, I think it was a great session. So moving on to our third speaker of this session, it is none other than Ms. Arushi Garg. She is a law professional from Punjab University, alumni from my university. She has her own YouTube channel for law students as well. She has organized webinar on effect of lockdown on women in toxic households. She has been actively speaking at different organized webinars. Also, she has been invited to chair and judge different legal competitions like client counseling competition, model youth parliament, moot court competition. She has given motivational talks to the students of NSS group as well as mission awareness, emphasizing on how to succeed in life. Ma'am, it is a great honor from the part of the team. So I would like you to please take over from here if you feel comfortable from here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, and I hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Right. So first of all, good afternoon, everyone. And it gives me immense pleasure to be here. I mean, this initiative taken by Law Central, it's so amazing because, of course, once you enter the legal field as law students, one thing every time occurs in our heads is that how should we learn? Because law is a humongous field. It's so wide, and it's very natural that you feel lost and you feel misguided sometimes, and you necessarily don't understand how to proceed or where to go. So before I start talking about my perspective and how I've applied to different organizations for internships, my perspective as a student, I would like to first of all say that it is an extreme pleasure to have Rohit sir here, to have Advocate Vivek sir here, and Mayank sir, of course. So, I mean, these are three amazing people, great human beings who are doing amazing in their fields. So, before I start, I'd like to tell that my first internship was with the Punjab State Human Rights Commission under the guidance of course, Rohit sir. And ever since then, I mean, that one internship and his guidance, everything that he said, everything he told us, the way he conducted the entire internship, it just sort of strengthened my interest in law even more. It gave me entire clarity as to why I had joined law and what I need to do further in my life. So thank you, Rohit sir, for that. I think I had thanked you then also, but I want to take this opportunity again. And Rohit sir is of course doing great stuff. He's managing so many students. It's amazing. And basically, if I start with my session, and I would like to start by saying that I will be talking about two conventional ways of applying for internships. So one is through applications and the other is through networking. But before that, I want to say that it is very important that in any sphere, in any way, you should always look at developing your network. And I will, as I proceed further, I will tell you why you should be doing that and why do you need to have a good and a solid network to sort of bag good internships and all that. And of course, there is a third, not so conventional way, which I'm sure Mr. Mayank will be introducing to us, which it is the test that his organization conducts with GLIT. So I think that is going to be a very new and an exciting opportunity to hear about. Apart from that, yes, these are the two very conventional ways of going about internships. Now, as Vivek sir very correctly said, that to apply your legal knowledge in the practical field is why you need to intern. At the same time, it is very important for you to realize yourself, why are you interning? What do you need? What is it that you want to take out of the internship wherever you are applying, and for whatever you are looking at an internship. So internship can be a short-term working experience where you get to understand how the organization, how the company, firm, or a lawyer, or anybody in the legal field works. Or it can also help you sort of streamline, what you want to do, streamline your interests. It helps you focus on the aspects of life that you want to cater to as a professional. So these are a few things that you, before starting your research for internships, you need to clarify. You need to have a set pointers in your head as to why are you applying for internships, because that will help you look at the different organizations that are out there. Now, one more thing that you as applicants for interns need to remember is that please remember that a first year student of law and a final year student of law are going to be totally different. I mean, their knowledge of law is going to be very different. So it's not necessary that an internship for which a fifth year or a final year law student can apply, a first year student can also apply for the same internship. So please understand and calculate what your strong suits are, or what skills you already have and what skills you need to develop, and then select your internship. So rather, I mean, more than the internship place giving you experience and knowledge, it is on the intern themselves how much they want to take from any internship place, right? So I will just tell you a few places where you can start with your internship. So for example, if you're a first year law student, so I always recommend that you start interning with NGO. Now, by no means am I telling you that you cannot intern at other places. This is just a way that you can proceed if you have no idea how to start. And then as you explore your interests, as you explore what you like, what you don't like, you can keep on doing the hit and trial method and see what works the best for you. So first, I always recommend that start working with an NGO, any NGO which works in the field. So say, for example, with students or say underprivileged children, women, the environment. So there are n number of NGOs. You just need to again streamline what your basic interest is. Vivek so very correctly said that seek what you desire, and your desire should be based on your vision. So to add on to that, I would like to say, and that your vision is based on your purpose. So what purpose you have in life, your vision should be based on that. And starting from that, I think you can streamline your NGO that you want to apply for. Next on, you can move to any organization which has a set pattern of conducting internships, like PSHRC. So they have their 4 weeks long internship program. Now, in the entire steps that they follow during the internship period, it's amazing because you don't feel lost. You don't feel that what do I do now? How do I explore? What do I do, etc. So you just know that today's tasks are these, and the next day tasks are those. So the next kind of internships that you want to look at are the ones where where there is a set pattern, there is a set way which is followed of conducting internships. Now by this time you've sort of understood what is available in the market, and also on your academic level you've read a few things, you've understood how a law student studies and how a law student should read. So by that time, if you're practicing all of that, I think now is the time that you're good to go and say intern with a good law firm, intern with a good advocate. And again, there are levels, so you can start if you are going for a practicing lawyer. So you can first of all say approach any lawyer that you know, or any lawyer that you feel is very established in the district that you live, or the district that your university is in. So find a district lawyer, move to your High Court and Supreme Court lawyer. So different levels, again, you have to work out, you have to see. I always recommend a gradual increase in your internships. I will never suggest you to directly go and intern with a High Court and Supreme Court lawyer. It is very important that you first see how the district courts work, and then see how the higher courts as we move in the hierarchy, you understand the kind of work and the kind of arguments and everything, right? And then there are, of course, international organizations which also offer a lot of internships. So the first time I was told about international internships was by Rohit sir, when he told me that some of his past students have interns have started interning with UN and all. So see, there are international organizations again where you can apply, where you can do your research, where you can just intern and learn and grow your sphere of work. Now, one major thing in this is your research. Your research has to be very solid. Your research not only about the market, research not only about what is available in terms of internships, who are offering internships, what do they offer. Not only that, but your research also about yourself, about the kind of skills that you have, about the kind of knowledge that you have, what you want to put in the market, what you want to learn more about. So the research about yourself, number one, and number two, the research of the organization that you want to intern with, the lawyer that you want to intern with. So you have to very smartly use your Google. You have to very smartly use applications like LinkedIn. These are great. LinkedIn is a great networking platform. So as I was going to tell you about networking, a lot of times there are students who come to me and say that they could not bag an internship. They applied and they did not get an internship with the said lawyer or the firm that they wanted to intern with. But that's okay. See, if you are not getting through by an application, you can always apply. You can always network. You can build your network. Sort of start low and learn, gain the skill set that might be required, and understand where you went weak, what could have been the possible weak areas. And while you do that, you can also network, you can build your network, you can interact with a lot of advocates. So as Vivek sir very correctly said that he's open to communication with the young people, I'm sure there are so many other advocates as well who are open to communication, who are open to having interns with them, who are open to guiding the youth of this nation. But it's only that you have to show them that you have merit, that it is going to be great for them to invest their time in you. So you have to show them that merit. Now, how can you show that merit is again through your CV and your cover letter. One major mistake that students a lot of times do is that they forward the same CV, forward the same cover letter to different organizations, to different firms and advocates. Now, that is a very sorry state of affairs because it shows that you are not doing your research properly and you're just asking for internship for the sake of it because you want to add something to your CV. You're just doing it for that. So it really takes away the exclusivity. It takes away your importance. It takes away all the credits that you might have to yourself. So when an employer is looking at your application, they should see why you want to specifically join their firm, why you want to specifically learn from that advocate, why you want to specifically learn from that organization. And this is, I think, true at any level, not necessarily in India, even at the international level, this is very much true. You have to be true to yourself. You have to be very much clear of what you are seeking. And from the organization that you are applying, how are they going to help you? And also in return, how are you going to help them with your available skill set? So your CV, your cover letter needs to be customized according to the firm that you're applying to. It needs to be, it needs to show how you are beneficial to them and how you wish to learn from them. One important question is that I've been asked a lot of times is about stipend, so that companies don't offer us stipend if we are interning with them. See, you need to understand. Again, you need to have your priorities set. Please understand, if you are interning with somebody because of money, it doesn't work like that. Of course, I understand that money should flow if you're giving in your efforts, but you also need to understand that are you learning something from that place? Are you gaining worth the money that you might have earned? Now, if of course, if you've had the correct amount of skill sets, if you've had the correct amount of knowledge that you need to do a perfect job, then you can apply for a job. But if you are applying for an internship, it would be wrong to say that that you want money and or you want a stipend. Of course, by saying this, I in no means want to say that there are no organizations which also pay stipend to their interns. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that please have your priorities set. Are you looking for money, or are you looking for experience, or are you looking to develop your skill set? Because of course, the person who is going to keep you as an intern is going to invest some time in you. Now, having said this, at the same time, there are different internship experiences that I have had myself, and I've heard from other people as well. That there are that I have had experiences where I was not told what to do. So in that scenario, it really comes up back to the intern, how you are gaining from that internship place. Now, how much are you seeking? So this is again one place where your research really helps. Now, if you've done your research about the company that you're applying at, you know that they have a lot of work and that they are willing to teach new people. That is a company that you want to apply at. Now, if you've never heard about an organization, you just want to start off, you want to see if they give you work or not. So it might not really turn out in your favor. So again, everything sort of boils down to your research. Your research needs to be very, very solid. And number two, your CV needs to be good. Your CV needs to be well written. If you don't know how to write an impressive CV or what to do, how can you draft a good CV? I think you should really start building your LinkedIn profile, because the kind of questions LinkedIn asks while you're making your profile, those are the basic and the concrete things that you really need to add in your CV. So once you're done answering those questions, your CV automatically generates. And now the reason why I'm so avidly talking about LinkedIn is because I myself have experienced the kind of merit that LinkedIn puts in the youth today. I mean, the kind of professional connectivity it gives to young people with the leaders, with the industry leaders, thought leaders. So I think that is amazing, and that is what people here, the youths of our country or youth anywhere needs to learn. It's the art of networking. You need to understand how to approach somebody, what to say, what not to say, how to put forth your strong suits, how to find out what you are looking forward to. Right. So these are a few things that you can keep in mind while you're applying to different kind of internships. Again, please, before you apply for internships, be clear of your vision as to why you're applying. Is it something that you want to learn? Is it something that you want to earn money from? And even if you want to learn, what do you want to learn? You want to improve your research skills. You want to improve your, say, drafting skills. You want to see how arguments are drafted. you want to see how cross-examination is done, for example, or how the laws are applied. So anything. So it is very important that you have clarity in your mind. Uh, so yeah, that's it from my side. I think I've spoken enough about internships. We're open to questions. Please put down your questions, whatever you might have. And thank you so much.
Ma'am, if it's okay, then we can take questions at the last.
Sure, sure, not a problem.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for such an humble session. It's always great to hear from you. Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to our last speaker. It is none other than Mr. Mayank Garg. I think everybody has heard about JRTC internship. Uh, when I was, I was looking for internship. I always have one thing in mind, that was JRTC in my mind. Okay, let me tell you about Mr. Mayank Garg. Mr. Mayank Garg is a student of law at UPES from UPS. He is the main mind behind the successful startup JRTC intern. It is a first ever internship governance platform for the legal sector. This platform will serve as an interface between the students seeking quality internship as well as working at the top law firms and looking for the students who really deserve for some internships. The idea promises to bring relief to thousands of law interns in the countries who have struggled in the absence of any organized form or channel. And this idea was basically generated by him when he wanted to help his friend in 2017. I think that's right, sir. So with that, I think, sir, it is a great platform for you to interact with such a great mind, and it is a great honor for me and my team to have you as a keynote speaker. With due respect, I would like you to take it from here, sir. And thank you for joining us.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Law Central, for this opportunity and having a very esteemed panel, Mr. Vivek Nayan sir, Mr. Rohit Chatra sir, and Arishi sir on this platform. It's great and it's really very insightful to see everyone's perspective. And continuing with that perspective, only would like to introduce JRTC intern. Not only introduction, now would like to tell what is the story behind JRTC intern and why I started this platform. And it's very important for every law student to understand. See, we know at every aspect we can do this, we need to do research, but when I tried to find out a problem, that what is a problem from the student side and from the lawyer side, of course we can improve all these problems from our side, that like writing a very good CV, and we can do all the possible opportunities that we have. But from the lawyer's side, yes, they receive thousands of applications per month for just very few seats of internship, and this is a very big problem from the legal sector, that because students they tend to apply at everywhere, and talking about the topmost law firm of the country, yes, they receive 20,000 applications per month for just merely very few seats of internship. So this is a problem from law firm's perspective. I do agree that we need to be very cautious about where we are interning, and we need to be very cautious. And it's very insightful that Arushi and Vivek sir gave, that you have to be very much strongly concerned where you are interning and wisely choose your mentor, because that's an important role which who is going to play while development of your skills. So from the law firm's perspective, if you think that they got thousands of applications per month, then what is the probable solution? Then how can you be how can you outstand others, and how can you believe make the lawyers believe that you are the best choice for them? So this is the thought that you need to keep upon while applying to any firm or while going for an internship. For this, what we have, in my third year of law, what I have thought is that uh, it was a deed of helping a friend who was unable to get an internship, and I know that he was very skilled and he should get an internship, and also he got like 9 point some pointers out of 10. So he thought that he should get an internship, but he applied to 100 of firms. He did not get result from any, which is a problem of almost every second law student in the legal sector as of now. So what I thought is, what is the problem? Then the problem is that they get thousands of applications, that they select their seats from very few, and then like rest of the applications are just like they had to have a pool of emails and none other than that. Now, from that perspective, what we thought is to have a platform to govern all such internships, and each and every student should get an equivalent opportunity to showcase their skills at a national level. So what we have done is we have created a general law internship test, and in this, it's a 1-hour online MCQ test, and on the basis of merit, students will be able to get internship to the topmost law firms of the country. All these perspectives are very important, and like talking all this perspective which Arushi said is that you have to choose it wisely. You have to craft the CV on from firm to firm basis, and you have to actually think about what you actually want to learn. So for creating this, we have created all the automation things, so you need not to worry about your CVs, you need not to worry about your where to apply. If you are interested to IPR, then the ML and artificial intelligence will automatically filter on all your listed opportunities, and all these we took into consideration while all these we have done while taking into consideration that the problems of law students and how we can ease it. Yes, all these are the problems, and it's a very huge gap that needs to be filled in the legal sector. That's why we created this platform. So while talking towards the online internship thing as of now, it's like, yes, people are accepting online interns, but what is feedback I have got from the industry is that they are merely going towards the research aspect, and that's what an intern is supposed to do in a law firm. Like they have to do research only, and being an online, there are some restrictions that law firms cannot share the confidential information in an online mode, etc., etc. So yes, there are restrictions that only research aspect is taken care of, while other aspects like attending client meetings, and getting and client counseling, etc., which I have done in my internship, are not being taken into consideration at an online internship. So there is a bit negative about it, about the online internship, but the positive aspect is that yes, you can develop all your skills through your research aspect, and that's very important from the legal perspective. And now the biggest mistake which every law student make is to like look forward for the topmost law firm while they are at their second or third year of their law. It's my personal experience, and I have taken like I have seen that yes, students do get an internship through through any source or through any references in these topmost firms, but believe me, all these firms actually blacklist those interns because they have not planned their career. They have ample opportunities to select from, but the point here is that they want to select their best. It nowhere it matters that from where you have completed your law, and from where the trend is now changing. Law firms are accepting CVs of students who are at tier 3 or tier 4 law colleges. No harsh statement for any person, but now the trend is changing. You also can apply to all these law firms, and just it needs to show that how you will be contributing to the firm. So like it's my personal purview as well, while going to every client meeting or every board meeting, or while advising any person, that think about another person's double benefit while you are thinking about your benefit. Then only he'll be interested to have you on board. So why it's the same rule while going for an internship as well. Like if you are applying for the topmost law firm or the multinational company, you have to think about how you can contribute to them and why they should select you, and what you can show that you are the best fit for their organization. So this is most important aspect that need to be taken care of. And for this, yes, we have created general law internship test, which directly connects interns to the law firms on the basis of your cutoff system. And if you are able to like cross the cutoff of that particular test or that particular firm, then you are directly in touch with all these HRs, all these lawyers, and all these multinational companies. So understand that. And one more thing that needs to be taken care of, that you cannot intern with any topmost organization, because next time they won't consider you, because you cannot even show that how much beneficial you can be. Instead, what I would suggest over here is develop your skills and till the 4th or 5th year, and your last internship should be in the topmost law firm or at the place you want to actually secure a pre-placement offer. So for the pre-placement offer, what you need to show that you are skilled with that much, you are that much skilled that it would be no harm for the firm to take you as an associate or associate with you, or give you a pre-placement offer. So you can just plan your complete career. You can take get skilled with all these skills. You can improve your skills through all other lawyers, and just land it to your last internship, to that place where you actually want to have a job and want to secure a pre-placement offer. So this is my biggest advice, like plan your career in a very step-by-step manner and a very systematic manner. Learn from all those lawyers, and then secure a internship. So this is my advice to them. And yes, definitely the platform that we created, we intend and we endeavor that and ensure that ease to every law student should be there, and the internship governance in the whole country should be in a very free flow and a transparent manner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such a wonderful experience with all of us. And now we are moving on to our Q&A session. Before we move on to our Q&A session, I would like you to introduce to my founder of the Law Central, none other than Mrs. Ankita Sharma. Miss Ankita Sharma. She is co-founder of Law Central, as well as she's a dearest friend of mine. She will be taking the Q&A session from here. Ankita, please take over.
Hello everyone, I will be taking the question and answer session. We received few questions in the registration forms and as well as during the chat of the Zoom meeting. So I will be reading out the questions we received, and I would like all the speakers who may think it necessary or who can answer the question for all the attendees. So the first question which a student asked was, what are your views on the virtual internships during this pandemic? I would like to request any of the speakers to please answer that question. What are your views on the virtual internships that are going
my
out?
Suggestion over here would be, Mr. Vivek sir, please take on this question on the virtual internship, and Mr. Rohit sir.
Yeah. You see, virtual internship is a way, I found it a very effective way actually. With regard to internship, though the formation of virtual courts and all those things are also very important, time saving. I'm having around a dozen interns every month since the time it is locked down. And I think there is a lot of effectiveness in the working. I am able to align the task. I am able to form the task in a manner that their overall mental development takes place. I give them the research assignment. Apart from that, then there is a problem statement which is given to them. I just create a problem statement on the basis of the clients asking me a question, or means from some past experience, I evolve a problem statement for them to really go solving them, which was not a case when the interns were coming to my offices. And now in this way, in this fashion, I think this is quite satisfactory. I was just writing a certificate for one of the intern, while this communication was going on by Mayank. So I found it quite satisfactory. And I think that should be the case with the interns also. They don't have to roam around. They don't have to go around. The only missing thing is that they cannot go and have a first-hand experience of the course at this point in time. And that's really something which they will miss for this period. But once it is solved, then I think the combination of virtual internship along with court experience. So interns are not required to be part of the office. They can do their work by sitting their own places. So what is required to be done, even in the earlier part, when the courts were open, we used to devise this way, that interns were given the work, they were assigned the task, and they have to fulfill the task. They can send the task through mail. So we don't used to always ask them to sit in the office and then do the work. So that's the kind of thing that can be done.
Thank you so much, sir. I guess that was a very delightful and insightful answer. After that, a student has asked if there are students from other states, is there any other requirement? I think that question was asked for the commissions, the necessities to include if the students are from any other state and they want to intern in commissions for any other states. Are there any requirements that are needed other than the requirements which sir mentioned?
Nothing else is required. Everybody from any state of India is welcomed. Whether we have had interns who have interned with us from international borders also. Last year we had an intern who was from Scandinavian country also. So anybody from any part of India is more than welcome to join us. And there is no special requirement for anybody.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. After that, we have a question. How and when is the right time to join internship for law students? And what are the opportunities there are after pursuing law other than practicing in court?
See, as per the Bar Council of India's prescription, the internships and moot courts are the requirement of the curriculum now. So, as the colleges prescribe, they have to follow that prescription. And apart from that, means if suppose one has to choose, so of course, as Arushi had told, already stated that the internship should flow in a vertically upside manner. Start at the trial court level, try to learn those things, how the fact formation is done, then how the trial is done, how the evidence takes place, then go to the high court, how the appeals are heard, or how the matters, writ petitions are heard, and how these are prepared, then go to Supreme Court. So this is how means you have to enhance your skills from bottom to up to upper side. So that's one part. So as per the prescription of college and the bar council, the internships, there is no choice with regard to that portion. I think one has to take internship in the 5-year course. With regard to 3-year course, they may choose from the very beginning itself that at a time, because they are already a graduate, so they may choose whenever they have the time. Then they may have join the internship. So the internships with regard to that portion, I think that's the answer. And what is the other question associated with that? There is another question.
Yeah, the other question was, sir, that what are the opportunities there are after pursuing law other than practicing?
So there are various opportunities. You just don't have to be litigator. Means there is one portion is litigator, that you have the court practice. Then you can become a corporate lawyer. You can join law firm, and then also you can join some PSU, public sector undertaking, or some government undertaking. There are some courses like in armed forces, JAG branches are there. So in JAG branches, you can appear for their examinations and interviews. Then there are judiciary you can prepare for. So there are various avenues. And then even in litigation, there are various sectors within itself which have been developed. There are people who draft, and then they are not they don't appear in the courts, just like earlier solicitor system. So it is not called solicitor system as per the Bar Council of India rules now. At the same time, there are people who merely draft, who only draft, and and then there are some people who help the individuals or firms in briefing to the senior counsels. So they are also called in between senior counsels. So you can there are various avenues you can really avail in the coming future.
Okay, thank you, sir. And the next question is, what is an alternative for early internships for students who only get relevant papers or subjects for internship after 3rd year? How do we cope up with that? So this question has been asked by many students, that how do we cope if we miss the internships during our 1st, 2nd years, or there are students who are asking that if they have missed their internship this year due to this pandemic, as well as they are not able to do online internships, how can a person cope up with that?
You see, as I told you already, these are the prescribed requirements under the Bar Council of India rules now. Means the Bar Council of India, when it grants a renewal to the institution, legal institution or law college, so they have to fulfill certain parameters. whether the institution is able to organize the moot courts, and then the students are regularly taking up the internships as prescribed under the regulations. So one will have to definitely comply with those regulations. If just in case for any reason, and now because of the COVID reason, the internships have not come their way, then in that case they will have to write to the college that they have for this reason not to be able to do the internship. So therefore they may allow them to take up the examination. And for that matter, again, the college will have to write to the bar council for seeking permission with regard to that.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I would like to request any other speaker if they have any notes for these students on this question.
I would like to add, Ankita. So,
Yes, ma'am.
with regards to the virtual internship, as the question was asked, one thing I want to put out as a note of caution for all the students who might want to apply for virtual internships, please do the background research of the company or the organization that you're applying for. So yes, there are a lot of leechers in the market. I mean, they are just trying to collect data and not actually provide you with a good internship experience. So make sure that you're doing a very good background research of the company that you're applying for. And once you're sure with that, only then further pursue going for a virtual internship. I mean, great advocates like Vivek sir, of course, have an entire curriculum in their head as to how they want to proceed with the virtual internship. But at the same time, there are certain people who might not have anything in mind and are just trying to, collect data. So be sure of that. And apart from that, see, while applying for internships, please make sure that your intention behind applying for any internship is that you want to learn, and not just because you want to add something to your CV so that it becomes impressive. Don't just intern for that purpose, intern for learning. And if this area, the pandemic area, the lockdown time, if you've not been able to bag any internship, that does not necessarily mean that you've lost an opportunity. If you've lost one opportunity, another one in the face of virtual internships has opened its doors. So research is again one of the most important aspects of a law student's life. So even if you're getting a deeper look into that, there's nothing like that. I think that's my take on that question.
Thank you, ma'am, for an insightful answer. After that, we have a question for Rohit sir. And attendees asking, while interning, can there be any provision for accommodation for the interns if he or she is from other state or is not living nearly to the institution he's interning in?
See, we are in Chandigarh, and although we don't provide any accommodation directly to intern, but the place we are in Chandigarh, it's in Sector 34, and in and around there are a lot of PGs, very nice PGs available. So you can easily get accommodation in any of these PGs. Most of our interns, they are from outside the state and outside the city, so they stay in these PGs, and they are available around. There's another question, if I may answer that also. Is there any age limit?
Yes.
Yeah, so there is no age limit. You can join us anytime. We had an intern who was around 60 years plus. Post-retirement, he wanted to do internship in human rights, so he was also welcome. So anybody at any age is more than welcome to join us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We have another question from non-NLU student.
Okay.
The question is it difficult for a non-NLU student to get internship in big law firms? How one can get internship in a law firm, and what should one can work on himself or herself with respect to skills to at least come into the parameter of selection in the big law firms?
To best of my knowledge, you need to have good grades, plus you really need to work very hard toward getting good internship in good law firms. As Arushi and Vivek ji has already added, it's a step-by-step mechanism where you take on this further. Probably Arushi can add much more to it because she has much more experience working with other organizations on this part.
Mayank sir, the same question is for you. Also, the attendee specifically asked you to answer this. So please, could you please answer this question?
If we if you look 3 or 4 years prior to this time, it's not like it was a scenario that NLE students do have an advantage over it. But now it has changed. It's not like that a non-NLE student cannot get an internship. They are getting equal importance to the firm. And to get into the second part of the question is that how can get internship in a big law firm, and what should one work on himself or herself with respect to skills. With respect to skills, on a serious note, HRs does not look forward for any skills, because they are into belief in a law firm, that they are in a belief that what the skill would a third year or fourth year law student would have actually. And for this, they have a separate program as well for their internships. But now the situation is changing. Non-NLE students are also getting internship. For this, for applying, yes, you can get through this test, and you can directly get in touch with the firm. Other than that, you can actually show to the HR how you can be beneficial, and how you can actually look forward. And for this, Arushi and Vivek sir have already thrown an insight upon that you need to have a detailed research over the firm, and you need to actually check in which area of practice does a law firm work. For example, if I take an example of any X firm, and if it do practices in an IPR, but you are applying for a merger and acquisition internship, that won't work. And you are an expert, and you are writing in your CV that I have all my experiences in merger and acquisition section, and I am applying for an IPR internship. So what work do you actually have in the IPRs that they take you to the topmost firm? So they intake you. They do have thousands of options with them. But again, you need to show, and you have to modify your CV. You have to create your CV in such a manner that after the detailed research, in such a manner that students do like it attracts the firm, and it shows that the person is actually inclined towards their area of specialization only, and it's going to benefit their organization while having an internship.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. There is another question for everyone. It is from a 3-year law student. The question is, what should be the approach of first-year students for internship and legal work during the 3-year courses, wherein they are having less time to learn as compared to the 5-year students, who take students who take the 5-year course?
Well, to start with, the law, when you have to ultimately look at the fabric, how the law is done, means the legal practice is done. It starts with the drafting, followed by the compilation of argument, briefing of seniors, if at all it is required. Then in that third important phase is that argument. In the litigation practice, when you are having any other practice, then it's going to have a different verticals. So I am going to talk about the litigation practice. So with regard to that, it is very important that one should know how to compile the facts in the very beginning. When the client comes, ultimately everything has to be seen from the practical perspective. Practical perspective is a client is coming to you, and then he has a case to brief to you, and then how do you make your notes? How do you prepare that case effectively in consuming less time? Because at times it so happens that you have to just move in a daytime. So you have to inculcate a practice in which you do not spend too much of time in preparing the brief. So the habit has to be in this fashion developed, that you create a way of doing work which is effective all throughout. Less time consuming. So it is very important for a first year law student that they should always work on compiling the facts. So as I told you in the very beginning, that reading judgments of Supreme Court is very vital and important. So when they are reading those judgments, they should make their notes. And in making their notes, it is to start with, they should know the fact statement. Okay, such and such an event, a short list of date would be important for them. What are the events, on which day they fell, from beginning till end. followed by a statement with regard to the issues involved in that matter and the finding on those issues, and then finally conclusion. So when I give the task of research works to my interns, I just give, it means it is invariable task which is given to all the students, that they have to create a short statement of fact and followed by the issues and at the same time findings in the matter, and then how the conclusion has been arrived. What is the conclusion? So this is how they have to do all the while.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for this answer. And there is one last question, a little one for Rohit, sir. That is, what is the time period of the internship which the commissions or
So the internship is for 4 weeks. Generally, it is for 4 weeks, but sometimes in summer we do extend it for 6 weeks. But now normally it is for 4 weeks.
that's all for the questions. Thank you
Ankita?
so much for yes, ma'am.
Ankita, if I may please add for the previous two questions that you asked.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure.
So there was this one question about how can non-NLU students get to big law firms, etc. Right? So of course, I would like to thank Mayank for clearing the doubt of all the non-NLU students on the aspect that our applications don't even reach the HR team and are disregarded just by the vision of our university's name. So thank you for clearing that doubt and clearing the air for us. And I do accept that yes, this notion is there a lot of times. How can you improve on your application is one. I think your network really helps in this aspect. So sometimes what happens is that students just don't know how to approach these big law firms. And if you are very adamant on interning with one such big law firm, please build your network. And how can you build your network is again through LinkedIn or attend such webinars and actively network. So I call it aggressively, actively networking. Any event that you attend where you see this one person who's representing this big law firm that you want to intern with, please make sure that you are networking with them. Please make sure that you are talking to them. Of course, don't just creep them out by your questions and all that, but have a healthy networking session with them. So you can grow your network, and that way it doesn't necessarily have, you don't have to be an NLU student, and also you don't have to have a big family background of legal professionals in that aspect. And one more question that you asked was how can students who are in 3-year law have more legal experience, etc., as compared to 5 years law students. I think there's this one term which I like to state, call it as smart planning. So one must always smartly plan the holidays that they get, the vacations that we have. So two very obvious vacations that law students always have are winter vacations and their summer vacations. So these are two vacations, of course, where you have to intern, where you can use this time to learn a lot. But apart from that, in a year, if you look at the calendar, I'm sure your university prior to starting the session, they release the entire calendar, and you get to see which are the long weekends that you'll be having, which is the that one long big holiday time that you can have. So you have to plan keeping those in mind as well. So make sure that you are catering to your attendance of the university, whatever parameter you have to cater to, and then also see which are those holidays around which you can sort of plan your internship and apply on those dates or in that duration. So I think that is how you can sort of squeeze in a lot of experience from different organizations, especially if you say that you have less time as compared to the 5-year law students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being so humble and answering every questions asked by the students. I would. This was the end of the question and answer session as well as the webinar. I would like to thank every speaker who joined us today, and it was an immense pleasure to have you all here. Vivek sir, Mayank sir, Rohit sir, Arushi ma'am. It was immense pleasure to have you all here join with us today, and we would like to have you back anytime we conduct anything of this sort. And to the every attendee, I hope every query of yours has been answered, and the webinar was insightful for all of you. Now every attendee can leave the meeting. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you,
Before leaving,
everyone.
no keynote speaker, I would like you to please tell some final words for our participants before you go, before you move on. Every notable speaker to have some final words for our participants, because they are insisting me to have a final words from you. Any conclusion or any advice of life as well as internship, law, anything you want to give to them, all the speakers, please. It will be a great honor.
See, the advice, if I have to give, I have a simple way of any time I'm in a situation where there are things where I'm not able to really solve anything. So then in that case, I believe in my subconscious. I wait, I just keep that and put it aside, wrap it around and forget it for a couple of days. And then the answer comes to me automatically. So believe in yourself. The things which you cannot solve on spot at times, so in that case, just wait for the right time and then the answers will come to yourself. That's one part. Then the second part is, and if any time you are feeling so low or depressed, means this is another aspect at times, means people feel low and depressed for the various events happening in their life. So do just one thing, and I'm telling you, it will definitely pay you off. Go in front of the mirror and just smile, whatever the circumstance be. Just smile for yourself and do this exercise for 2 minutes. Just keep smiling whether you want it or not. Just smile. And then you will see that all that is inside you, which is negative or a bad energy, would evaporate into a positive energy. So know yourself, love yourself, and believe in yourself. And everything will be just fine. Don't worry about anything. The word will be word, it will remain so. You have to find your way out to live in the way in you want to. So that's my my way of living. So just believe in that.
Thank you, sir. That was really and very impressive answer and a very impressive conclusion. I would like to request every other speaker to please say a few words.
See, right now we are going through some depressive times. Things are not what we expected them to be. But my only advice to everybody, everyone who's there in this webinar, is to stay calm, stay relaxed, and when next things are coming, things would improve in next maybe 3 4 months. Everything would be back to normal, and that is the time when you should just right now relax and make sure that you gather your energy. And once the things are normal, just push hard for the things and just do it.
My
Okay.
Thank
answer,
you, sir.
I would like. Sorry, please, Ankita, go ahead.
No, ma'am, you can start. I was just saying thank you for the answer, and I was going to introduce you next.
So no, I
So, yeah,
was just
please.
saying that Mayank sir, I think you should take before me because you're like more experienced than senior. So I think you should first give your